Hello everyone and welcome back to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah and today I'm doing a reading for the sign of Taurus for the next year, 2021, the year of the bull. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone had a nice, lovely Thanksgiving holiday. So let's get right into it. Please remember that this is a general reading. There may be some parts that do not resonate with you. Only take the parts that do and leave the rest. You may also want to check out your other signs as well. Please remember that I've already meditated on the cards. I've already shuffled the cards. And this is a spread that I have for you today. Dear Taurus, in the past position, we've got the King of Swords clarified by Death. In the obstacle position, we have Judgment clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. In the advice from Spirit position, we have Two of Pentacles clarified by the Four of Cups. And in the first half of 2021, we've got Eight of Wands clarified by the Sun. In the second part of 2021, we've got the World clarified by the Knight of Swords and also the Moon. One of these cards fell out, so I just decided to keep both of them in. So in the past position, we've got the King of Swords clarified by Death. Definitely, 2020 was a year that many people had come to different realizations. There, at first, was a lot of confusion, and then it was followed by clarity. The King of Swords is a powerful person. It could represent you or the situation, the vibration perhaps that you may have found yourself in the recent past or in a slightly distant past. But it definitely, the King of Swords is all about control and power. He communicates clearly. He's assertive. He cuts out what he no longer needs. He understands very well what can be used, what cannot be used. He's very rational. He's very reasonable. And he enjoys that sort of logic, if you will. He's focused. He's definitely disciplined and determined. And that could represent a mind frame that perhaps you had in the past. And of course, it's interesting that it's clarified by Death because it could be that the King of Swords cut out, ended what no longer served him in order to create space and room and energy and time for something else that was needed. It could be that this change was a little bit forced, where you had to kind of confront, because death is transformation. It's obviously forced change. It's an ending, and it is about kind of seeing what could be. The wonderful thing about death is we see this sun on the horizon. So there is, the sun that comes up. There's still joy and there's still happiness to experience. But as we know, life is about cycles. So one cycle must go in order for another one to come in. And of course, the King of Swords, he definitely pushes forward to achieve. He knows that there are goals. He knows that there are different aims and dreams that have to come about. So he knows how to kind of push the energy through and clear what no longer works and kind of work the ending to their advantage, if you will. In the obstacle position, we have Judgment, and it's clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. Now, the good thing about Death here is that it's in the past position, and it's in the clarifying position as well. So it wasn't a major impact on you, but it was a kind of a indirect impact, if you will. But what worries me is the Judgment in the obstacle position, because that is also a major arcana card, and it stands for, in a normal position, stands for rebirth and new beginnings and consequences for actions that have been done, and it's also resurrection as well. But in the obstacle position, it's a pretty significant obstacle, because it could be that some of you are refusing to sort of see the situation as it really is, and so the Judgment kind of creates setbacks and delays until that you do see. You're unable to move forward. You're unable to progress in the cycle of life until this milestone is kind of addressed. I think that there will be times in 2021 when you're going to have difficulty making decisions, where you will be unsure what is the right thing to do. It could be that the interests of your family and your friends are also involved in making that decision, or a series of decisions that could be really weighing heavy on you, and therefore kind of feeling stuck a little bit. It could be that there's something that has been done in the past that you're unable to get over. But what I believe for most of us in Taurus as well, this card means is there may be unjust accusations, there may be some false blame that is kind of bestowed on us where we didn't do anything wrong, but for some reason we are a little bit blamed for the situation. So it's a guidance from the tarot that you want to make sure to really play a clean game. Make sure you keep all the receipts. Make sure that you control your emotions when you are in a heated exchange. Make sure that you stick to protocols and policy rather than allow, sometimes when people feel they're been treated unjustly, they have a little bit of a reaction. So make sure that you kind of keep your emotions in check. When you're surrounded by gossip that is a little bit detrimental, Taurus, is much stronger than you give yourself credit for. So make sure that you kind of stick to your faith, and what your faith is your beliefs. Stick to believing that you are doing the right thing. Stick to believing that you are a good person and that you have people in your life who love you, who support you. Stick to those beliefs that keep you grounded and moving forward. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is a warning from the divine that you may be spending a little bit too much money in 2021. Make sure that you have a clear budget. Make sure that when you kind of receive the paycheck, first thing you do is take a certain amount of money from that paycheck, set it aside for retirement, set it aside for things that you want to have financial health. You want to have financial abundance when you are no longer able to work as hard. So definitely make sure that you really pay attention to that, and pay attention to that now. Perhaps you can do without the trip or a big TV or a nice sofa, but you cannot do without that IRA account. You cannot do without that some sort of like a small investment into something that is going to pay off. Obviously conservative and nothing risky at all. But definitely you want to make sure that you invest in the future, and sometimes that means sacrifice. So the Nine of Pentacles is a warning that you may be acting on impulse. You may be thinking that, you need this purchase, but really, those things need to be viewed, and make sure that you're kind of not doing any sort of impulse emotional action that could be detrimental down the road. And make sure that you lower your walls a little bit. Make sure that you allow other people to come in. Make sure that if you're making a romantic connection with someone, allow your heart to be open. There is a risk that it can be hurt, but at the same time, without risk, there's no reward. So, make sure that you kind of do connect and allow other people to take care of you. Sometimes, Tauruses can be stubborn. Sometimes Tauruses can be, sort of, I can handle it all. But really, it's important to reach out. It's important to feel that, vulnerability vulnerability around other people. And you know who you can trust. Sometimes, however, Taurus, is you're overly protective and you're overly territorial. Maybe you can be a little bit less, and allow other people kind of easier access to you, from which you will also benefit greatly. Now, the advice from Spirit is Two of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. The Two of Pentacles suggests that you need to focus on prioritizing your time, your energy. Make sure that you're organized. Make sure that you have a routine that works for you, that doesn't punish you, but works for you. You will have some emotional difficulties. They're not going to be particularly great, but there will be some stresses. There will be some anxieties. The Divine Spirit here suggests that you want to focus on making sure you prioritize and balance your time between work and play and home and everything else in order to really get the maximum out of this journey. And the Spirit also suggests that you've been sitting by this tree way too long, and pondering and thinking about emotions and how to let go of something from the past and what to do in the present. Sometimes movement is what is required. Just getting up and moving, and just kind of going with the flow, just doing it. And as you do it, things will come to you naturally. This person has been sitting by this tree for quite a long time. They're focused too much on the negative things. They're not seeing this opportunity. So the Spirit is telling you to be more aware. Grow your awareness. Grow your awareness. Even like people sometimes maybe around you that you don't notice, but they are a wealth of information. They are a whole world in and of themselves. So make sure that you are not kind of being lost in thought and not being focused on something that is really kind of wasting your time when there is a whole life to live. In the first part of 2021, we've got Eight of Wands clarified by the Sun, and this is a really wonderful combination. The Sun makes everything joyous and happy and beautiful and warm, and the Eight of Wands is a card. We don't see any people in that card because it's all about movement and it's all about action. So January, February, March, April, May, June, it's going to be all a lot of action. It's going to be coming, going, talking to people, working, visiting with people, maybe going out for dinner, doing nice things. So it's going to be kind of go, go, go. And the important part here is to remember to have a routine, because you do want to focus on meditating. You do want to focus on checking in with your inner voice, with your intuition, making sure that you also kind of remember taking care of you. But the Eight of Wands coupled with the Sun, it's a really wonderful combination. It suggests that you're going to be feeling good vibrations. Remember that each human being is a vibration. When I say check in with yourself, it's important that you remember to acknowledge when you have low vibration energy, anger, resentment, all of those things, because you need to recover from those. You need a little bit of time with yourself in order to bring you back to a neutral state. Because really life is too short to focus on really stressful things that kind of steal our time, if you know what I mean. But the Eight of Wands with the Sun is all about spending time with people you like and enjoy and having wonderful conversations and interactions. It's really looking like a wonderful first half of the year. The second part of the year, we have the World, and it's clarified by the Moon, as well as the Knight of Swords here. The World is completion, and that's really wonderful, because the World card basically means completion of a cycle, but what it really means is you are being seen for, by the world and acknowledged by the world for everything that you have achieved. you are being sort of appreciated and noticed by people that are around you. And it's, it's a really wonderful, positive card to have, Major Arcana. 2022 is going to bring a new cycle into your life, but definitely 2021 is going to be wonderful. Now, the world is clarified by the moon, which means there's going to be a little bit of an unknown factor in the second part of the year. There may also be a person that you need to kind of watch out for, because the Knight of Swords is known to be very temperamental and kind of on the angry side. He likes to rush in very quickly and sort of take charge of the situation, and he usually has all these ideas and thoughts about how to make things better. But he does have a bit of a temper, so the second part of 2021 is going to be interesting to watch. Let's see what energy oracle cards have for us. I also pulled 4 energy oracle cards. We've got community, we've got the thinking woman, yin yang, that's all about balance, and healer of the ages. You will be spending some time with friends and family. You do have that in your spread, because you've got the sun and you've got the 8 of Wands. Definitely there's going to be some time where you'll be spending around people that you enjoy, so get ready for good times with friends and good times with family. And sometimes family is who we choose to have as family. Now, the thinking woman is all about wisdom and understanding, so there could be like a friend or a mentor that shows up. If you don't know this person yet, you're going to meet this person soon. And this person could provide wisdom and guidance in any area of your life that could actually be really beneficial to you. So make sure you are aware. Awareness is the biggest message of this spread. The divine wants you to be aware of where you are, of what you're doing, how you're spending your time. The yin yang is all about the duality, the passive, active, intuitive, logical. This card represents energetic life cycles, and its purpose is to help you identify a particular cyclic energy moving into or out of your experience. In its upright position, it heralds a yin cycle, where most of the action seems to be happening under the surface of things. This is a time of great receptivity, intuition, and gestation. External circumstances may be forcing you to go within and examine present activity. It's an especially good time for completion, so wrap things up. Yin cycle often call you to be passive, yielding, and reflective. So open up to these sides of your nature. Being more than acting is the intention here. So definitely the divine suggests that in the year of 2021, you may want to allow things to happen. Let things come to you. Don't chase outcomes. Don't chase people. Don't chase particular situations or feelings or any of that. When you meditate, I think that part of the law of attraction is you sort of set the intention and then you let it go. So once you kind of do a little manifestation ritual, you have to just let it be. Because when you keep constantly going back to it, well, okay, I wanted to manifest a love of my life, and okay, well, it's Monday, he's not here. Tuesday, he's not here. Wednesday, he's not here. When you constantly kind of check back to it, or maybe wanting a promotion, well, I haven't, it's January, not promoted, February, not promoted. The manifestation, I think, rules say sometimes you just have to let things happen. You are focusing or should be focusing on manifesting. You should be focusing on meditating and just seeing, your tasks through, staying committed to the task at hand, being rather than, acting and being involved super sort of kind of forcefully. It's important to let things be, and that is what this card is all about. Now, the Healer of the Ages is a card that suggests you should, definitely focus on your health and make sure that, you spend enough time getting rest, and you drink plenty of water, and focus on resolving any sort of conflicts you may have, physically, mentally, emotionally. Sort of clear the chakras, clear the negative energy, and make sure that you are sort of fully able to participate on a daily basis in your life. Let's see what answers from angels I pulled. And we've got take action, not the right time, recovery, and abundance. So there are a lot of things, Taurus, that you have in motion, and it definitely, for some of them, you have to take action. Perhaps there have been things that you have been avoiding dealing. Usually they are unpleasant things, like going to a dentist for a checkup, or doing, I don't know, paying a bill or something. Making sure that, you do kind of follow through on all the accountability and all the responsibilities that you have to. There seems to be a little bit of a delay in something that you really want to see happen, but you are focusing on healing, and you are reaching that stage where you are becoming strong and powerful and kind of, conquering the world, if you will. I mean, you have the world as an outcome in 2021, so definitely you're becoming a lot stronger. And the abundance could be anything. It could be abundance of friends, abundance of attention, abundance in the financial realm, abundance of, a specific resource that helps you a great deal. Really wonderful answers from the angels. Let's see what mystical wisdom cards I pulled. And we've got Epiphany, seek clarity. Vacation, take time for relaxation and adventure. Unicorn, invite serendipity and legends. Learn from those who inspire you. Yeah, you need a vacation, Taurus. You really do need a vacation. Serendipity is, Tauruses, they are notorious for working hard. They're notorious for wanting stability and security. And so, put the tool down and go to the beach. It's very important to, have some downtime, because life goes by quickly. It's important to remember that vacation allows us to do something nice for ourselves, to remember why we, work so hard in the first place, and allow some, spontaneity, allow some magic to take place in your life. And that happens when you don't force things, when you just go with the flow, which is really hard to do, especially for people who want to control everything. What time do we arrive? What time? How much can we do? And what are we gonna? It's like, no, there are no answers to any of those questions. Just go do something that does not require planning or strategy or thinking. Just, spontaneity, I think, is what the divine here calls for. And definitely focus on clarity, but I think you will have clarity. I mean, you have the Judgment as an obstacle. You have the Knight of Swords in the clarifying position. I think that you will have clarity in 2021, but the mystical wisdom is definitely reminding us of that as well. And definitely focus on people that inspire you. Focus on people that make you want to achieve great goals, and focus on, people that perhaps will push you, because they themselves have pushed themselves in order to achieve something great. But 2021 for you, Taurus, looks really wonderful, looks really amazing. I think you're going to start feeling a really powerful shift around December 21st of this year. On the winter solstice day, there there's going to be a powerful shift with Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, and there's going to be a kind of a door opening for you into this next year that's going to bring a lot of blessings and a lot of abundance and a lot of new things that you haven't done in a while. So definitely it's going to be very exciting. I'm really excited for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for visiting my channel, and I will see you next time.